put that? Okay, hey everybody. So we've got something really important coming up. If you are teaching students in China, this is really important for you to know, and it is Chinese New Year. So today we're going to talk about what to expect for Chinese New Year. We're going to talk about some of the things that you can look forward to and some of the things that oh, I should take that off. Don't click that link. I just put a link in the, if you're on here with us live, I just put a link in here, and that we already did that. So I should have taken that off. So I apologize. But we're going to talk about some of the things that you should be expecting for Chinese New Year if you're teaching students. This is a really, really, really good time for you to be doing business in China. There are some things that you need to know about though, and we're going to go over those things, how it's going to apply to your business, and some things that you need to know about this. And I will say that I am not an expert on Chinese New Year. I'm just a teacher. I've been teaching students in China for 6 years now. So I've gone through quite a lot of these. Every year, it's a new date time span for Chinese New Year, but the same thing applies every year. And if you have any questions, please feel free to drop them in the chat. Just a little bit about me. My name is Jillian Shanahan. I am an online teacher. I teach in China. I also have goats, so I had to put a picture of my goats up there because so I'm a teacher and I have goats. That's me. And I teach kids in China and have been for a very long time. On this channel, we talk a lot about building an online teaching business or finding and working for companies where you can teach English or something else online. So make sure you subscribe to this channel. And here we go. So Chinese New Year, some important dates that you need to know. Chinese New Year this year is on January 29th. The Lantern Festival is on February 12th. And then the Spring Golden Week is January 28th to February 4th. So Chinese New Year, actual Chinese New Year, if you're teaching during actual Chinese New Year, your students are probably going to be running over and showing you fireworks out the window. It can be really loud. That's when Chinese New Year starts and a lot of things are going on. The Golden Week is basically like the national holiday. So students are going to have off longer than Golden Week, but during the Golden Week is when a lot of people will be traveling because these are the national holiday dates where the entire family will most likely have off depending on the nature of their job. So a lot of people will do their travel time during these dates, January 28th to February 4th. That means during these dates, it can get a little spicy. You might have a lot of cancellations. You might have more students showing up. You might have a lot of commotion in the house because a lot of the family is over there. But the Golden Festival weeks, January 28th to February 4th, that's where everybody in China, mostly everybody in China, has off. It is the year of the snake this year. So you might see a lot of students that have like a little toy snake. You can use this if you have like a prop. If you have like a little toy snake or something like that, put up a background. You can see my background here. I've got this cute little snake up there. So you can use the snake in your classes. I have, I think it's viral on Xiaohongshu. It's like this little snake that has like a little hat and a little scarf. It's really cute. A lot of my students have this viral Xiaohongshu sale snake that, people are selling on like Douyin or Xiaohongshu. And they've showed it to me. We happen to be doing a lesson on clothing. So it's kind of cool that they have a hat and scarf on. But you might see a lot of this as well. Use this in your classes. Okay, so what to expect? Between now and January 28th, students are going to be starting their breaks from school. So a lot of your students already have time off from school. It's kind of like a summer break. It's their winter break. It's a long break. It's going to be different for different cities, different schools. So some of my students start on Monday or Tuesday. Some of them already start. A lot of them already started this week. Some of them start next week, their breaks off. Most of them have 4 weeks off from school. Some of them have 2 weeks off from school. And I even have one student that has 7 weeks off from school. They do have their final exams. I guess it's like a midterm exam, but it's a big exam that all of the students have to finish before, I believe, February 22nd. So they're all going to be finishing their final exams before they go on vacation. So it's a countrywide final exam, basically, that they all have to do before they start their break. So you might also see a lot of students that are busy with their exam preparations or trying to like cram in a lot of exam time right now, or practice time. And it might impact your classes right now during this time, because they might be stressed. They might have more work to do outside of class. They might be canceling classes right now before their last exam because they need to focus on their exam scores. So you can ask them. I always ask them too how they did on their exam, if they took it yet, because it gives me, if they're old enough to talk about it, it gives me a place to talk about their English scores, how they did on their English exam, what they thought was hard. It gives me an opportunity to kind of assess them and how their grades are going in school too, because I can't see those. So most of the students are going to go back to school after the Lantern Festival, which this year is on February 12th. And then, many students have already started their vacation. So that's something that you might see too. I have been making it a habit. I'm asking all of my students and all of my potential students. So in my Xiaohongshu and WeChat groups, in my private messages with people, I have been asking when their breaks start so that I can get a really, really good idea and a good feel on what my schedule is going to be like. And I'm going to talk about that, how you can use your schedule, how you can use this to benefit your own business or your schedule with a company. By the way, nobody's talking. If you're here, leave me a comment and let me know who's here, because I see people are here, but everybody's really quiet. So there are a few things that you can probably expect if you are teaching students in China during this time. So the first one, you're going to have students taking classes in strange places. So I have taught in restaurants, lots of restaurants. I have taught in parking garages. I have taught with my students sitting in their cars, traveling in airports, running down the streets. I have taught classes in very, very weird, strange places during this time. I already have this year, actually. This is going to happen more during the week where they are all traveling, but you are likely to have classes in the mall. I've had students taking classes in the malls. And just out of curiosity here, let me know if you have ever taught a student in a strange or unusual place. Let me know in the comments where they were, because I know some of you probably have some really good ones. So far this year, with my students on break, I've done a couple of lessons in cars, where the students are, they've got their iPad and they're taking the lesson in the car, and in restaurants and in a parking garage this year. Actually, that's all I've done so far. I haven't done any no airports yet, nothing like that. When you have a student that's taking a class in an unusual place that's not their normal teaching environment, you may have to adapt a little bit, because it might be loud, there might be distractions, they might not be able to focus on like the higher level content. So just be prepared to adapt your lessons if you have to during this time. If your students are dedicated to your classes and they show up to every single one, You might just have some experiences. Let's just put it like that. So I'm interested in knowing what strange places you have taught classes in. Not you, not like where you have been, like, but where your students have been. You're probably going to see a lot of cars. You're also likely to see some canceled lessons and some student no-shows. And this is more likely to happen during that week where everybody has off, because family will be visiting. There might be unexpected trips to go visit family somewhere. They might be on vacation and forgot to cancel the lesson. They get really busy. They have a lot of things going on. They're visiting family. They're traveling out of town. They're going skiing. Skiing, I've never noticed it before this year, but so many of my students are skiing and snowboarding. And that's something that I've never noticed before this year. It's really popular in China, I guess, and I just never noticed it. So you might have some canceled lessons and some student no-shows. But on the other hand, you're going to have more classes and more peak hours. So your peak hours in China typically are, a little bit bigger here. Your peak hours in China are typically going to be your after school and weekend hours. So Beijing time, it's going to be like after school. Normally after school, you'll have like 4 p.m., 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. And on the weekends, it's going to be like 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. Well, during this time, you can treat every day like a weekend day. So you can get a lot of hours. If you're working for a company, open up more classes if you want more hours and a higher income during this time, because they're going to have more opportunities to study. Their parents are likely looking for things for them to do to keep them occupied during this time and to learn more. So you can have more opportunities for lessons. If you're struggling to get lessons on your platform, this is a good time to give yourself more opportunity for that too, because there will be more students on the platform for a lot of these days. You're also going to have these companies are going to be doing some pretty heavy promotions during this time. They're going to be doing some deals and some discounts and big packages for cheaper. It's because it's a holiday, they offer that as their holiday promotions, which means some of these platforms are going to be onboarding more students than they were last month. So this is a really good time to open up your schedule with companies. If you're not with a company, I'm going to talk about going about like independent strategies as well. But this is a really good time to open up your schedule with more companies, so that, or not with more companies, but with more hours with your company. Every day can be treated as if it is a weekend now, because it is for a lot of these students. Because China is very family oriented, the grandparents will frequently watch the children. So in America, we would have to, most families would have to send their kid to a daycare center or a child watch program during a time like this, because we don't have the support of our families. In China, some families do that. There are centers like that. And I have actually, that's an unusual place there, I guess. I've actually taught classes with a student in one of these centers before. But most of the families have the kids' grandparents living with them or close to them, and the grandparents will usually watch the kids so the parents can keep going to work. Which also means that the grandparents, if you usually have a parent that is helping out during class, helping manage a young student, during this time, if they're taking off time hours, you may not have that. So be prepared for that too. If the mom is working and she puts the kid in a class with the grandma probably doesn't speak English, most likely. So you won't have that communication assistance if you have been relying on it. So there's something else to be aware of. So what are some things that you can do? Like I said, this is a really, really, really good time to be able to get more students, to be able to grow your independent teaching business or grow your status within a company, grow your student base within any company that is in China. So the first thing, I feel like I should like put myself over here. Okay. The first thing you can do is you can open up more classes or more hours if you want more hours. There are going to be a lot more lessons available because they're not going to be in school, but a lot of times they might still want to be learning. Open hours for classes that are not at the usual peak hours. So like I said before, if you're Eastern Standard Time, you're not working weekend nights because the kids are all in school or sleeping, or they're all in school, sorry. But you could be working like, 9 p.m. because that's 10 a.m. in China, and they're might be taking extra classes. If you're working independently, this is what I really want to talk about. This is the fun part. You can host a special learning camp during the holiday. So maybe you have like a week-long special camp style learning program, class, whatever, learn English during your vacation. So this works really good for group lessons. So you can host a special themed class, group class for the holiday. You can offer a special Chinese New Year promotion or deal. I promise you, all of the big companies are doing this. I actually probably could go look in my WeChat right now and find some messages for some of the, I'm just curious here. I probably find some messages from some of the things. So let me see. Yeah, so actually like Wukong is offering deals right now. Lingo Ace is probably offering deals. I haven't yeah, everybody's offering deals right now. You can be offering deals too. Offer big package deals, offer referral deals. You can create a special program for your independent teaching business. You can, reconnect with your contacts by telling them Happy New Year. This is a really good time to go through your WeChat contacts or your Xiaohongshu contacts and start a conversation with them. This is a good way to get new students in because they may have forgotten that you exist. So send a message and say, hey, Happy New Year. What do you have planned? When, are you going on vacation? What are you doing this New Year? Just start a conversation with them. It reminds them that you exist. And just by starting a conversation and telling them Happy New Year, you are likely to get some class signups because they will remember that you exist and take a class with you. It happens. It works really, really well. I would do this for every holiday. So do it for Children's Day too. Regular New Year too. If you have a lot of contacts, it can become tedious. There's, I got a lot of contacts, but yeah, go ahead and send them messages. And you can also create holiday themed content. So maybe you're doing like reels or shorts, like the little like TikTok style videos on your Chinese social media platforms. You might want to do something that has to do with like vocabulary for the new year. The vocabulary word parade is something that I have used several times in my lessons with students just when we are talking about their plans for the new year. Are you going to watch the parade? They don't know the word parade. They haven't been taught it. That's a good opportunity for you to teach it. You can also do this on your Chinese social media as well. So anything that, they want to know, you can teach all of the Chinese New Year vocabulary in English for them if you're an English teacher. And it can get you more views, more traction, more organic student acquisitions. And make sure that you communicate with your regular students regarding their schedule. So find out, like, are they going to have to cancel or reschedule? Are they going on a trip at any point in time? Is there anything that you need to know? So if you normally have them for a class on Chinese New Year, then you might want to like ask them like, hey, what are your plans? Um, so those are some of the things you can do when you are working independently. Hi, Katie. It's okay. I didn't really tell many people that I was doing this, so it'll go out to everybody afterwards. But yeah, Katie works in with Chinese students, has been for a long time. She's lived in China. She's very knowledgeable about this. If she was on here, she may have already corrected me with some things and given me some of her perspective on this. She's more of an expert on China than I am, but this is just from my personal experience, some of the things that I've noticed and I've dealt with here. So something that everybody can do, wish them a happy new year. You can use holiday themed backgrounds or props. So you see here, I've got a holiday theme. I got two holiday themes. I've got one here and one here. Backgrounds for this. The color red is the Chinese New Year color. The snake is the animal for the year. So you can use little snake props. You can teach them New Year related vocabulary. I already told you that I frequently use the word parade. We frequently learn the word parade or Chinese New Year, Lunar Festival. We talk about our birth years. So a lot of times I've gotten connections with the students just because they find out that, I'm Year of the Tiger and so is their dad. And a lot of times there's, a connection there just to find that kind of thing out. Oh, you're monkey. My daughter's monkey too. So you can talk about that. Ask about their New Year plans. It's a really good conversation extension as well. Find out what they're doing. Are they going shopping? Are they going skiing? Are they staying home? Are they traveling to their grandparents' house? And I always ask, like I said, I've been asking every single one of my students when their vacation starts, because it helps me. Like I was able to make this for you because I got that information from my students and found out, okay, most of my students have 4-week breaks. Some have 7, some have 2. This is what they're doing. This is how I knew about the test that they all have to take, that they're all taking right now. You communicate with your students and your parents and you find this stuff out. It helps you for marketing. It helps you for classes. It helps you for preparation. It helps you for your scheduling. So have these conversations with them. Teach them some new vocabulary. Include yourself in the celebrations because it is an important holiday in China. Everybody celebrates it. Fireworks, that's another vocabulary word you can teach. But just include yourself. Let them know that you care about their culture, you care about their holiday, and they'll be really, really excited to see that you care about that too. Some resources. So there are some Chinese New Year resources that you can use if you want to include something for extension, something for New Year, something for vocabulary. If you want to do something with your students to involve the holiday into it. So Twinkl, these are some of the Chinese New Year's resources that Twinkl has. I think I'm going to make this a little bit bigger so you can see a little bit bigger, a little bit better. So Twinkl has a ton of Chinese New Year's resources. Some of these are in the free account. Some of these are in the paid account. The link for all these things are in the description box. But if you would like to get a link of everything that I'm going over, I'll put that in the description, or I'll put that in the comments right now. Or if you're watching the replay, just let me know and I can send that over. If you fill this out, this form out that I put in there, it's going to shoot over all of the links that I told you about so that you have everything that we talked about and you don't have to go through the description box. But if you want some holiday themed lessons, then Twinkl has a ton of them. And then also Abridge Academy. Hi, Katie. She's here. Abridge Academy has some different themed lessons that you can use. And I don't know if you want to say anything about that because you're on here, Katie, but Abridge Academy also has some different themed lessons that you can use either with your private students or extension, or whatever it might be. There are some important dates. So this is a really, really, really good time to gain new students in China. You have a lot of students that are taking extra lessons. You have students that are bored and their parents are looking for things for them to do. They have 2 to 7 weeks, average of 4, but they have a lot of weeks of no school. And while they all still have homework to do during this time, it's a good time for them to be getting themselves into new lessons or doing new things. So because of that, there are 2 things that you might want to put on your calendar. So January 13th to 17th, we have our business bootcamp. In this bootcamp, this is for teachers that are looking to go independent. This is a paid one. The other one's free. This one is paid. This is 5 days of coaching. You're going to set up your entire business, your marketing plan, everything that you need to get started teaching independently online. It's 5 days, coaching included, homework included. So every day you'll have something to do to move yourself forward in your business. We've done this before. It works really well. I highly recommend joining this. And then on January 17th, there is a Chinese marketing workshop that we are doing. The links are in the description box, but I can go ahead and drop them in here for that too. So this Chinese marketing workshop, we're going to be running this with Yan, who is the co-founder of Fun Class, which is the Zoom alternative that I've been using. Here's the challenge in there in the comments there, where she's going to be talking to us about marketing in China. What you need to be what services, what social media platforms you can go on, what are some of the things that you should know about it, how to do it. This is a free workshop. So I highly recommend that everybody, even if you can't afford to go into the business bootcamp, everybody should be joining the Chinese media I can't talk. Everybody should be joining the Chinese workshop if you are teaching in China. And then here is the link and putting it in right now. It's my what did you say link. So if you are wondering hey, what are all the links that you just told me? What are all the dates? You can sign up. I'll send over everything. Just put in your information. I'll send in all of these links and dates and everything to you in your inbox. You guys have been super, 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 super quiet today. It's really strange. I've never done a live where nobody has said hi to me. I mean, Katie did, but yeah, I just wanted to come on here, explain to you what Chinese New Year is, how it's going to affect your business. It will affect your business. You're going to have some classes with students taking them in weird places. You're going to have cancellations. You're going to have student no-shows. If you're teaching independently or if you're with a company that you don't get paid if they don't show up, you really want to make sure that you're communicating with the parents or doing whatever you are allowed to do if it's with a company, so that the students show up to these lessons. You want, especially if you're independent, you don't want to have student no-shows. You want them to be coming to classes. So those are some of the things that you could do here. Hi. Hi, everybody. So yeah, so now I can see some of the people that are on here. I think it's all my regulars that are coming on. But yeah, is there anything that anybody wanted to add? You can add it in the comments. Let me know if there's anything that you need to know or that I didn't talk about regarding Chinese New Year. This is, don't sleep on this. If you're looking for something right now that can push you forward in your business, this is a really good time for you to be pushed forward in your business. It's basically like a summer vacation where, the kids have between 2 and 7 weeks off. 2 and 6. I've only got one that had 7. But I would highly recommend using this time to build your business if that is one of your goals this year. Thanks for the tips and reminders. No problem. I also second what you suggested about messaging students, wishing them a happy new year. I've legit got new students by doing this, by touching base with old leads or ex-students. Yes, they forget that you exist. They got a lot of stuff going on. And honestly, like if you're on WeChat and you have a lot of people on WeChat, I've gotten a lot of students off of WeChat, but WeChat, a lot of people just use WeChat for business. They use Xiaohongshu for fun. They use WeChat for business, and they kind of tune everything out on WeChat. So, yeah. You can mass message your contacts with a generic Chinese New Year message, create Chinese New Year themed WeChat, selfie stickers, and lucky money, etc. Oh yeah, I didn't talk about red envelopes. That's another thing you're going to see, students. If they show you a red envelope, they might show you a red envelope that they got. You're going to see these like pop up on like WeChat too. If you're in groups with people, they'll give red envelopes. That's just lucky money. So it's kind of like how for your birthday or for Christmas, your grandma might give you a card with money in it. That's what a red envelope is. So the students are probably going to be getting red envelopes too that has money in them. So yes. And yes, you can mass message your contacts on WeChat. There's a way to do that too. I didn't prepare to show you how to do that, so I can make a quick little tutorial if you want me to show you how to do it. But yes, this is a time where you can grow your business. You can get more students, and you can have fun with it. So I would. Let's see here. No, I talked about everything that I wanted to talk about. I'll see you guys. Hopefully, I will see you guys all for the week-long coaching where I'll show you how to set up your business so that you can successfully do all of these things and have classes for your students to go into. And I will also hopefully see you guys all next Friday when we will be talking about marketing in China, Chinese social media marketing. If you're not already subscribed, make sure you subscribe to this channel, and I will